During discussion with clients, I find that the most common concern they share is that in the future, the assets and property that they own will not remain within the family due to outside threats. One of the most common concerns is known as sideways disinheritance. Normally, when parents write a will, they'll usually leave everything to each other on the first death, and on a second death, to the children. On the first death of the couple, the survivor now owns everything. So what if they meet someone new? Well, if the survivor now marries the new partner, his current will be automatically invalidated. If he doesn't make a new will, when he dies, the law of intestacy will apply. This would heavily favour the new spouse. Even if he did make a new will, the odds are that the new spouse would be included and would receive a significant share of an estate that was originally destined solely for the children. The second major concern is long-term care. It is all too common to hear of an entire estate being used to fund somebody's stay in a care home. When that person enters a care home, their estate is assessed by the local authority to see whether they have to contribute towards their own care. If their partner is still living in the house cannot be included in the estate valuation. If that individual's estate is worth more than £23,500, they must fully fund their own care. If the partner living in the house passes away, the house is now vacant and so can be included in the valuation for a reassessment. What's worse is that now the resident owns all the house and so its entire value is included. Before you say it, no, you will not get away with just getting your son or daughter to occupy the house. The local authorities are very switched on and are aware of all these kind of tactics and have stopped them. And so the knock-on effect for this example is that there is now £193,000 in the resident's estate which can be used to fund his care for a number of years. You won't believe the number of times I've heard clients say, "No worries, I'll just give it all to the children," and honestly believe that will solve everything. In fact, you're actually creating more problems than you had originally. For instance, what about the parents in red here? They leave it to their son in yellow. He then passes away. As a result of his own will, everything he owns goes directly to his partner. Suddenly, your daughter-in-law now owns your house. So I can hear some of you saying, well, what are the odds of my son passing away before me? Fair enough. Put that to one side for a second. What about if your son gets divorced? Anything he owns will be included in the divorce settlement. This could quite easily mean your ex-daughter-in-law has 50% of your house. There is another issue which needs thinking about. What if you as parents fall out with your child, and that falling out was particularly bad? There would be nothing to stop your child kicking you out of your own home, because technically and legally, your child owns that property. There are plenty more reasons why you should not give your house to your child, including many tax reasons. But above all, if a local authority can prove that you gave your house to your child to avoid paying for care, they will simply reverse this process and still keep it in your possession for charging purposes. However, there is no reason to panic. By planning ahead, you can protect your property and your assets from these threats. I have two solutions for you. One is called the Property Protection Trust, the other is called the Asset Protection Trust. They both have their own merits, however, depending on the individual, usually one or the other is better suited to them. Please read the information on both types of trust so you can get an idea of which trust is best suited to you. Then, get in contact with me and we'll have a chat over the phone or in person at a free initial appointment.